nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.
How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me.
Good. Thank you for having us.
Sebastian, I was going to start with you first. What was your first thoughts knowing that you're going to be a part of I Know What You Did Last Summer? Because I don't even want to tell people what I did yesterday. So I'm just...
Yeah, absolutely. I hope no one knows what I did last summer is what I was thinking. No, I was mostly freaking out, mostly like, oh no, I'm equal parts excited and scared. So so mostly profanity and going on in my brain. Yes.
And Brianne, I heard that you were the one everybody's scared on set. This is what I keep doing as I'm going through these interviews.
Yeah, I'm very skittish. I don't know what it is because I love horror movies. I love like scary haunted houses, mazes, stuff like that. But I'm very skittish and it never gets old with me. Like someone could be hiding behind a door, jump out at me. Great. They could do it again. And I still have the exact same level of fear. I'm like a donkey. I just don't learn my lesson the first time around. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I love it. I love that it makes people laugh, but sometimes it can be a bit traumatizing. I've peed my pants before because it scared me so badly.
Oh my God.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was literally jumping, like the music, like every little thing kind of got me in this show, like going just 4 episodes in, like every time I saw a hand on you guys' shoulder, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Like who's going to come popping out of here? So you guys definitely, but I want to ask you too, going a little bit more about Margot here. Do you think social media gets her in trouble or you think it's helping her?
I think it's a little bit of both. And that's where the toxic relationship with social media comes in and is perpetuated through all of society. And social media is great. It can be a good way to educate yourself to an extent, check your sources, and keep you connected with people. But it can also give you the opportunity to create a different version of yourself and a different persona. And I feel that in real life and for Margot, there's a tendency to live more online than you do in real life. And when you are constantly putting out this perfect image of yourself, it can kind of keep you from actually dealing with the internal struggles that you're having in your everyday life.
Right. Absolutely. And well, somebody that wasn't struggling here, I got to get back to you, Sebastian. Johnny, I feel like from what I was picking up in the beginning, he was not struggling with telling his truth. There were some other things that come down the line, but he wasn't struggling with who he wanted to be and where he wanted to go. What are you hoping people pick up from Johnny?
Well, I think that is part of it. Yeah, I do think he did have some things he was struggling with. With Margot's character, he was going to leave her. And I think, they were as close as people can be. And I think that that's a tough thing to have secrets, especially from those type of people, those who are so close to you. But take away from Johnny, is that what you said?
Yeah, John, or I guess I can ask you too, what did you enjoy about playing him and what are you excited for people to get to see?
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a lovable guy. I mean, he's just a fun dude. He's very kind. He takes care of the people around him. I think he's a good, genuine dude. I hope people can see his light and see, I don't know. I think it's inspirational. I wish I was a little bit more like that. So, yeah.
Well, look, I think everybody's going to gain something from these characters. Love Johnny and Margot. I think they're the social media duo that's coming down on this season. So I can't wait for people to check it out. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ezekiel, Ashley, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you? Hi, Ryan.
Doing so good. I got to start with you, Ezekiel. How did you master the ultimate pout face? Because I felt really bad. I felt like I wanted to give you a hug as I was going throughout this. You got to break that down for me, getting into Dylan's role there.
A lifetime of practice.
It came natural.
Yeah, I think I was coming out of the womb with it.
Ashley, I want to ask you, or because while I feel like everybody's going to be tweeting you after getting to see these episodes, seeing that about that, she pulls no punches. Like she's like, whenever she opens her mouth about how she feels, it's coming straight out. Was that fun for you to kind of play that role?
It was so much fun. I mean, because that's I like to be that way also, just like very straightforward. And like, if something's on my mind, I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry if it comes off a little harsh, all respect. But yeah, I love that Riley didn't hold back, and she just told it like it was. And, I feel like they might hate it in that moment, but respect it at the same time,
And I'm curious too, are you ready for the feedback? Because it's really interesting her background and just how mysterious you're playing that as well, that we don't get all of it, coming off. We just think, she's very tough. She's got it all figured out. We don't know where her past is, her parents. Are you ready for that feedback? And what are you kind of hoping people take from it?
Yeah, I mean, Riley, like you said, she comes off as this tough girl who just, is just tough all the time. But at the same time, she's still a young girl and she's still going through all of these different emotions, and she's, she has a heart. She cares a lot about her friends and the people around her. And, throughout the season, that you'll see those walls kind of come down, and you'll be able to get a chance to see Riley in a vulnerable state. So
Yeah. I think people are definitely going to be interested to see that. I'm going to go back to you, Ezekiel, coming in here. I think you played this very sly and very slick, and it was so cool to see you come in, because you're thinking you just got this nerd guy on the scene. He's just going to float through here a little bit, but it turns up a little bit where you're like, okay, how far can you go when it comes to love, or how much is too much of a secret? You know what I mean? And I feel like Ezekiel at some point is like, look, I just need to break away from this. So what was it for you? I'm asking, is there ever such thing as there's too much of secrecy or too much of not revealing what you want to at the time?
That's a good question. I mean, I think that if secrecy comes at the expense of living your most honest life, then I think that is too much to bear. I mean, secrets weigh on you. But also sometimes there's a need to protect yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think that if you look at the characters on the show, this secret is far too large for them to live with,
Yeah.
And my last question for both of you guys, did you guys have any like weird scares or anything on set? I always love to ask this when we're talking about thriller or horror, because I was just jumping, like every time somebody put their hand on you guys' shoulder or something like that, I was like, what's getting ready to come out?
Honestly, there weren't that many scares. I never got scared, but I did scare Brianne quite often, and she was like the easiest to get. So yeah. Zeke.
Yeah, I mean there was a big Brianne scare that you could hear from like a mile away.
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody was picking on Brianne, man.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I cannot wait for them to see the dynamic duo. I'm gonna call you guys a dynamic duo because they don't know yet. I want to give all away the secrets, but I feel like you guys got something else secret working behind the scenes. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much.
How you doing, Madison? How you doing?
How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for joining me. I love the eyeshadow.
Thank you very much.
I gotta ask you, like, starting off here, first of all, Lennon needs to maybe walk, bike a couple places. That might be cool. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to ask you though, how was it getting into the mindset of this character, and what did you enjoy when you first looked at the script?
I mean, the first thing that caught my eye was, I know you did last summer, I was a huge fan when I was a little girl. But the first time I think I read the script, it was really the twins. And I think it's like on every actor's bucket list to be able to play twins. And they were both equally insane in their own way. But I guess the funnest part for me though, I mean, Lennon was just a good time. Like her confidence, which I don't have in my own personal life, it was like putting on a cloak. So every day I walked in to play Lennon, I just had a good time. I'm like, maybe I should fake this in my normal life, because I would just walk in the room and just feel good. But it was just fun. There was no rules with her. She didn't care. So she was just up for anything. And there was just something really fun to play about that.
Yeah, Lennon looks like she has a lot of fun, and were there moments where you had to take a break because you're so like on opposite ends of the spectrum with these two ladies and like them being sisters and everything? I was like, how is she doing this? Like, you can feel all the emotions on the screen from different reasons, not to spoil anything, but it's very much going back and forth. How was that for you? Like, was that just taking breaks, getting into one, going from one character to the other?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. So I've never played twins before, but it's very technical. You go in as one character, film everything, and then have to do the whole changeover
Oh, okay. Okay.
and right after, which, it's double the time, it's double the memorization, double the work. But it was a lot of fun, and it was exhausting. You were correct on that. It was very tiring. I think there was one moment where I was doing both twins off camera for one of our other castmates, and he wanted me to do both. So I was like running back and forth, and I was like, what are we doing? This is so crazy. But yeah, no, I love them both.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Did anybody ever call you the wrong name? Like, they get caught up in the script and you're like, that's not the name we're supposed to use for this one.
It happens sometimes. It was hard to keep up.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's definitely difficult here. But I want to ask you, you brought up, I know what you did last summer, like you have to have that on the Halloween list. Did you have a favorite character from the films?
I mean, I have to say probably Jennifer Love Hewitt, when back in the day, she was like the style icon queen, so it probably had to be her.
And one of my kind of last questions I want to ask you here is, what do you hope young women, because there's, you get caught up in the thriller and the horror, everybody likes to get caught up in that part, but there are a lot of important messages here about talking and reaching out and not getting to that absolute breaking point. What are you hoping like young women, different, all generations can kind of take from watching, Lennon / Allison?
I hope they see what not to do. Number one, at the end of the day, they're young women and men, making decisions that sometimes aren't the best.
Mm-hmm.
But they learn from their consequences. And I think that's important. Like, we're not glorifying anything, they're trying to figure it out just as much as we all are. But yeah, no, it's important to listen to yourself, be patient and kind with yourself, and reach out for help. Don't do what they do.
Yeah, like that's number one. Reach out for help first. Reach out for help. But you did a great job, and it's so much fun. You can learn so much. You guys will be on the edge of your seat, so it was really cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to talk to you.
Sarah, how you doing? Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you for having me.
This is like such a crazy, wild adventure. I love that you're bringing back a classic. This is so cool for different generations. Being a sister myself, having a younger sister, what was it like for you to take that, I guess the sister angle, so to speak, and mix it in with the horror and suspense? Was just insane to me.
Yeah, I have 3 sisters. So
that explains it. There you go.
The 3 of us were in high school together, and we did not drive together. So that's all you need to know. But I felt like this was an opportunity to really go deep into the characters, and you don't have time to do that in a movie. And that movie was a long time ago, and I felt like it was a way to look at identity and relationships, and see the women in a different light, and kind of go deep with all of those pieces that the movies didn't have time to do, and that have changed a lot since that movie came out.
Yeah, and it's such a classic, and it's so cool because you're thinking, okay, even though it's it's such a long time ago, but it's a classic, and everybody's looking for those certain elements and everything. Was there a character? Was there a scene, like a moment where you like, okay, we gotta make sure this goes perfect. We put this back in here that we can look forward to.
There's little shout outs, but I think certain people are going to be mad maybe that certain pieces are missing. But they weren't in the book. And also, I mean, if I put a fisherman in, you're going to know he's the killer. So I have my I have my own versions of things. Don't say it. I guess we shouldn't say didn't put a fisherman in, should we? Is that a spoiler?
When they watch this show, there are going to be so many reasons why they're on their seats and jumping. It doesn't even matter. I'm telling you guys right now, like, I'm just like blown away. I've only got to see like 4, and I'm just like, it's amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure for everyone to know how much I love and respect the movie, and at the same time to reinvent it as a show for modern day.
And I want to ask you too here, another cool kind of like theme I saw woven between this is you say you believe everybody is hiding something. And I thought that was very interesting, especially if you think about where we are in the world today. Was that something that you were like, okay, every scene when we're writing, going through this, I want to make sure this is known to people, and they kind of think about it?
Yeah, for sure. I think, social media, everyone has a persona, everyone has these parts of themselves that they show everyone. But at the same time, they're all hiding whatever their own insecurities are. They're all hiding these other pieces of themselves. And I think never, this is probably more serious, but never have we lived in a time where truth is more malleable, where you just don't know the truth. It's hard to figure it out. And so I felt like that's part of why it was a great time to reinvent this in this time we're living.
If you had, as we kind of wrap here, if you had like one message for young women, because I think there's so much for them to take away, and there's so many cool examples, and two, having you behind the scenes and working your magic on that, what would you say?
Oh, just be brave. Be brave, be bold, be yourself.
Well, we're glad, Sara, you are yourself and brave to do this, because this is so cool, and I can't wait for people to check it out. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.